Hi everyone. Thank you for joining me again on our YouTube channel. I'm Colette Lawrence. Today I want to talk to us about, what it is to believe in ourselves. I know that, and I'm, as women, as people on a whole, let me put it like that. We sometimes have this self-doubt that's going on in the back of our minds. We doubt our ability to perform certain tasks, to get certain job and certain opportunities and certain doors opening up for us. We think little of ourselves, and because we think little of ourselves, we operate from that space. Believing in ourselves is not being overconfident, it's not being arrogant or anything like that. The fact is that if we don't believe in ourselves as people, then no one else will believe in us, and we can't expect them to believe in us either, right? And why is it that I want to talk about believing in ourselves? Because I know that it's something that I have struggled with believing in my ability to perform certain tasks or to have certain positions based on how I saw myself. And of course, I would have had to have an epiphany, a moment that changed that. And when I look back on how I would have allowed opportunities to miss me, and just because I didn't believe in my abilities, one of the things is that it's not enough for someone else to believe in you. Someone else can believe in you, yes, and give you an opportunity. However, if we don't believe in ourselves, we're only working because we're trying to please someone else and because we want to fulfill, a debt we think we may owe to that person who has taken this chance on us. And so when I, just look back over my life and I'm thinking about, as I said before, the opportunities that would have passed me by just because of how I didn't have any belief in myself. I had limiting beliefs about myself. I thought I couldn't do it. I thought I was not educated enough. I thought I didn't have the skills that were necessary to do what needed to be done. I thought I should not have a seat at the table. Who am I? All those things that are hindrances, all those things that would keep us back and keep us back from moving. And so it's important that as women, and I want to be particular about women because that's what who we're called to as a movement. We sometimes allow what others think about us to become ingrained within us, that at the end of the day, all the negative thoughts that they think, we take that on and it become who we are. So if there was any glimmer or any what do I call it, any speck of belief was within us, someone who we look up to, someone who we respect, show us anything that is less than, we take that on. And so if we had decided that, yes, I'm going to do this, I'm going to start a business, or yes, I am going to develop myself further, or the different things that we want to do in our spheres of lives, if we decided that we want to do that, if someone else told us that we cannot, that is our belief. We believe that we cannot do it. We believe we don't have the capacity for it. We believe we don't have the support for it. And then we ask ourselves, why me? Right? It's better we would encourage someone else to do it, and then we don't do it ourselves. And so my talk with us is really to encourage us to listen. Believe in your ability. Whatever it is that you're called to do, whatever it is that you want to do, trust and believe that everything that you need, everything that is necessary for you to go ahead and do it, you have that within you. And I'm telling you that because that's a place where I'm coming from. Those limiting beliefs, those things those self-esteem issues, those thinking that I am less than, those lack of self-confidence is where I am coming from. It took me a while to get me to where I'm at now, where I am learning to believe in my abilities, learning to believe that I am capable of having a seat at the table. I'm capable of having my voice being heard, right? Because when we have limiting self-beliefs, when we don't believe in ourselves, we are giving someone else free reign in our lives because someone else is talking in our head. Yes. Someone else is talking in our head. They're dominating the conversation, and we don't want anyone else to dominate the conversation. So it's important that we listen and not believing in ourselves. Honestly, sometimes it stems from lack of self-love, right? It's how we see ourselves. So I want to encourage us today to listen, love yourself. Love yourself. I had to learn to love myself. And that's life, right? Sometimes life throws us some curveball and we have to deal with these curveballs. We have to listen. And the lemonades, we have to learn to bat those balls away, and we have to learn to use those lemons to make lemonades. So when they are going to threaten to affect how I am growing in my belief in myself and my ability to be all that God has created me to be, when that is coming to threaten that belief in myself, I'm actually going to bat that ball away. And as women, this is Women's History Month, may I encourage you, my sisters, princesses, queens, listen. There is too much that God has invested in you and I, in us, for us to be sitting around and believing that we can't do, we can't be. He has given us too much for us to think that way, right? And because he has given us too much for us not to think that way, I'm going to ask you to look at the reasons why you have those lack of belief in yourself. Why do you have limiting self-beliefs? Look at it. And then when you look at it, determine what you're going to do about what you have seen. Because at the end of the day, what we see, we have to take action about. Right? We have to take action. We have to decide that we are going to change some things. And I know that it is a hard road because I have been there. It's hard, but it's something that is necessary, something that is important, right? For us to know who we are, know who we are called to be, know what God has invested in us, and to use all that he has given us to be a blessing to someone else. Right? And I know that sometimes we've been in relationships and hurt can come from relationships with whatever type of relationships they are, and that affects how we feel about ourselves. We think we're not good enough. And because we think we're not good enough, we will settle for anything anything that is less than what God wants us to settle for. So I implore you, as I encourage myself and implore myself also, to identify what's causing you to not believe in yourself. When you identify, then take action. And when you take action, continue building. It's a step-by-step process. If you look at how they build a house, it's block by block, right? They have to excavate the foundation, and that is us finding out what's happening on the underneath. And then they put in the steel work, and then they put the block, they pour the concrete. All of those steps are necessary, and that's how we're going to reclaim, right, our belief in ourselves and our abilities to be the very best of who we are, right? So today, believe in yourself. I believe in you. Blessings.